three reasons. The first is the wealth beyond worth, that idea that we can go beyond just the money part of our lives. I believe in that. So I like that brand. I like that tag. The second reason is that Rich Bradley, who's been leading the city's initiative, is someone that I really want to support what he's doing, because I think it really brings together all of our interests in the future of where we live and where we work. And the third reason is I'm paying back a favor. When I became the planning director of Boulder, Colorado, there was a moratorium. The council said to me, we want 50% of all new housing to be affordable. We want to engage the community, and we got to involve everybody. Go figure it out. And I didn't know what to do. And so I called Joe Riley, who was mayor, and I asked him to come out and talk to folks. And I asked him to explain how did he bring everybody together here in Charleston. So I wanted to pay him back that favor by coming here today to speak to you. So I want to talk about a connected future. What does that mean? And how do we look at that? And look, we all know that there are so many different issues. Each of us has our particular concern: affordable housing, open space, climate. It all is important to us. How do you decide? How do you figure out what to do and bring those pieces together? So here are the big five. Anything you're going to do, any developer, any community initiative has to address some aspect of this. It's prosperity. You got to leverage what we're doing in innovation and deliver economic growth and jobs, sustainability, neighborhoods, complete neighborhoods. It's not just about building units, it's about creating a community. The thing is, everyone likes to look at data. Data is great, it's important, but we all have to remember it's looking backwards. It's what's happened before. So we could talk about income, wealth distribution, racial divide. We can talk about a lack of affordable housing, work from home. 66% are going to be wanting to work from home. What does that mean? How does that impact us? So those are those tectonic plates that we're all aware of. But the issue for us is what does that mean in terms of moving forward? What do you do with that information that we want to see? So what's the North Star? How do you begin to find a direction to move forward? So I would start with the big things are foster growth, vibrant public spaces, and you have to have civic destinations. You need all three if you're going to create something that actually is going to resonate with people. There's a roadblock. The roadblock is we don't have enough money to pay for all the things that we want to do and all the key aspects of a good city: roads, transport, open space, all of that. So what becomes essential? And I would like to put forward to you today that mixed income housing, providing enough housing, is really the foundation for creating this kind of vibrant new community and the services that obviously provide for that. So 4 ingredients. What are the common challenges? Can you get the issues on the table? Can you broaden the civic engagement? We want to expand capital sources for sure. And then faster innovative delivery. It doesn't help if you do a plan and then 20 years later you deliver on it. That's not going to work. So what's the sauce? What's the secret ingredient here? It's about getting everybody to the table. If you don't do it, nothing will move forward. People will be roadblocks. We've all experienced that. So are there some new techniques to bring people to the table and hear what they have to say? So I think we've been playing off the wrong playbook. It's like playing a football game and having the wrong set of plays. It's not going to work. People talk public-private partnership, P3, that's kind of the lingo. Throw that out, that's not valid anymore. It's now P10. Sorry to expand it, but let me run you through that. So public is not just one P. We know it's the local, it's the state, and the federal. You have to bring all 3 of the Ps together. The next one is private. It is about pension funds. It's about the pioneers, the entrepreneurs, the startup ventures, and the other P is the producers, people who make things at scale, the big industries, building systems, contractors. The next P, the pundits. Who are doing the accelerators, the philanthropists, the nonprofits? They're the ones that have all these passionate ideas, new approaches that they have to bring to the table. You have to have them at the table as well in order to get the conversation to move past what you've been doing in the past before. And obviously the most important P is the people, is how do you get people to come together and be at the table and feel that they're being heard and that their issues are resonating. So there's 10 people you need around the table, 10 interest groups. Hard to do, but you can't move forward unless you figure out how to do your version of P10 in your community. So I'm going to give you 2 case studies. We're going to go through this pretty quickly just to give you a flavor of how this new playbook might work. One is a very large site in Toronto, where I live now, and one is in San Diego, a project that I'm working on that I'm just getting off the ground. Toronto. The organization, I was CEO of Waterfront Toronto. It's one of the largest projects in the world. It's redevelopment. It's looking, I just want to give you the sense of the scale. It's 6 miles across of the waterfront on Lake Ontario, right next to downtown. So it's just a huge project. It's 2,000 acres, and that's the designated waterfront area. It came out of a failed Olympic bid. So failure sometimes produces a new organization where the 3 governments came together, federal, provincial, and city, and said, let's look at this in a coordinated fashion. It's interesting intersection, public good, city building, and innovation and job creation. So that was part of that focus that we had to look at, pretty broad. In terms of results, I was the second CEO. It started in 2001. 1.5 billion of seed capital, and as of 2019, there was over 10 billion of private investment. That's a 7x. So that's a pretty good leverage of the public investment to get infrastructure and then to see private investment, affordable housing, infrastructure, fast fiber. Pretty great when you come to Toronto to see what they've done in the waterfront. New transit, intelligent communities, offering fast fiber, especially in affordable housing units. It was subsidized, very important for young people to have access to fast fiber. Again, before and after, this was the way it looked before there was a competition. This is now Sugar Beach. If you Google Toronto, this will come up as like the first or second image. Very imageable, right on the waterfront. The Donlands, it was a totally contaminated area, tartary, leather goods, and with a new park and a berm, it opened up a whole new neighborhood that's now been built. It was also the Pan Am Village. This was the waterfront before the key front door, Queen's Quay, and this is the way it looks today. Transit, pedestrian, bicycling, open space, places for kids, really a great kind of combination of uses. Okay, so the big issue was flooding. This area was industrial, had been flooded. They took care of the downtown, but there was another 700 acres that was still in danger of flooding. This is what it looked, in the late 20s. There was a lot of landfill, very industrial. I think you get the picture. So very interestingly, about 15 people came together in the mid-'80s and said, we should do something with this river. We should naturalize it and become an industrial, wasteland. And they started talking to people and started writing papers and getting people to come and imagine what this could become. And eventually it led to a design competition from all over the world. And Michael von Volkenberg from New York won the competition to come up with a whole new community on this 800 acres. And you can see here this picture of a comprehensive full build out, very interesting, with open space, with river restoration, and a new community. So here you get to see what the Villiers Island, a new island that'll be created with the new mouth of the Don that will take care of the flooding. It is the first climate positive neighborhood in North America that's being planned in terms of actually reducing the carbon footprint from what's there today. Interesting idea, not just carbon neutral, but carbon positive. Interesting discussion. And what's really important is open space parks for everyone. This becomes this destination I talked about for people from all over Toronto who don't even live there to come, bring their families, and really have fun. And you can start to see the images of what this idea that this public benefit for everyone really looks like. It's under construction now. It's really created this very positive sense of people wanting to come down to their waterfront. I just went down there a few weeks ago. The bridges are in place. Come back in 18 months and you'll start to see this new park. Also, interestingly, more money's come to the table as a result of this. Philanthropists and others say, I want to help build a park. I want to help build an art center. I want to build. So all of a sudden, this infrastructure building and having people at the table has benefited with new capital stack. So here you get to see the kind of the image as it's going to be complete. It's right next to downtown, but it's not dissimilar from what the discussion's having here at Union Pier in terms of the Charleston discussion. So lots of lessons here that happy to share with you. Okay, shifting gears, going across the continent. We're now in San Diego, so think sun, San Diego, okay? This is an area just east of the downtown area, And if you've been to San Diego, it's got a lovely downtown, the Gas Lamp District. There's a new ball field for the Padres. But it's not the kind of San Diego that you may have experienced before. So we've created this new kind of idea of a corridor along transit, and to transform it where local entrepreneurs, scientists, and creative people, and people who want to be part of building a neighborhood will come together to create a purpose-built idea with developers for people, planet, and prosperity. I mean, not a lot of P's, I apologize, but it still kind of rings this notion of, well, why do you live there? Because I'm for this idea. So you can see it's on a trolley line. It's very industrial. It's a Latino community. It wasn't the best neighborhood in the past because it was near the Chicano Park and there was drug deals and gangs and all the rest. They are now involved with building this new community, which is very exciting. There's a lot of life sciences that's coming to downtown, so there's a real demand for housing right now. Vision, blueprint, money, stewardship, this idea that you're not just a developer to do a deal, you're there to actually be part of working with the community to build something for the future. So those are the principles that we're working on as we've started to purchase some of these industrial properties and are starting to transform them. I talked about the access and the opportunity UCSD because of the trolley, very important. It's an opportunity zone fund, so we're working as well for folks who are looking to put their money, make money, but also want to do something that actually helps on the tax side and on the civic side. So we have the draw with the life sciences. We've done a lot of outreach. Before we did any planning, any designs, it was just, let's talk, let's come together. People started giving us their ideas. It was so cool just to hear everybody thinking, especially small business people who said, I want to have a place where I'm in a trolley car or something or a truck. I want to bring it and actually expand it. And we've done that to help and invest in, and you can do that with opportunity zone funds. You can actually invest in some of the small businesses and watch them grow. It's really terrific. Open space, I mentioned this. How do you enliven that public space? Food, obviously that's very important. Art, murals, we've gotten the artist community involved. San Diego and Tijuana will be the joint capital for the World Design Capital. People from all over the world are coming to see how communities are working to improve themselves with designers. So we have a whole interactive program going on when this starts in 2024. For those of you who are more kind of project oriented, we've done a very good, clear set of project goals. We're in an acquisition phase. We own some of the property. We're buying more. We're working with the city. The local councilor is very involved. The transit agency wants to improve the transit stops, so we're helping to do the design work. It's a true collaboration in this program, but I really like the fact that it started with just 3-4 people, and then I got involved because I love the energy, I love the excitement, and now we're working on this together. A lot of interesting design, more fun stuff that you might see than the typical housing style. This is some recent stuff. We've obviously done the pro formas, and now we're working to engage on more of these partnership models. So I want to leave you with a thought. I was able to meet with Mohammed Yunus, who you may know, some of you may know, microfinance. He's written several books. And he said to my daughter when she was 15, when we met him in Toronto, he said, you need to take a different path to find a different outcome. And it seems so simple when he said it, but then when my daughter and I started talking about it, you can't follow the same path that somebody else has taken. You can't follow what another city has done. You, with that collaboration, need to find a way to identify the issues, look at some options, move forward with some pilot projects, and then you can get to a different destination. I want to thank you very much. Have a great conference.